Hey everybody, it's Micha Angela. Today I'm going to do something a little bit differently. Got a knife. She's got a knife. Fucking run! Now I'm going to show everybody how to clean a trout. I call it a big trout. And I'm going to clean it. It's kind of weird, right? Porn stars cleaning fish on the next Geraldo. Yeah. Anyway, every fish has to be cleaned a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do today is clean a trout, which is obviously a freshwater fish. Saltwater fish do get cut differently, but trout get cut like this. So stay tuned. Okay, first things first, rubber gloves, because I don't want to get my nails fishy. So, put these suckers on. Used to putting on prophylactics. I should be able to get them on, right? It's a hand condom. Condoms for your hand. I'm really looking forward to eating this fish. Okay, first things first, he's been sitting out, or she, or it, the fish has been sitting out. Don't want to misgender it. For a little while, so it's getting a little dry. So I'm gonna get a bowl of water. And I'm going to set the bowl of water here and just kind of wet my fish a little bit. Nemo the lake trout. Okay, first things first. This fish is gonna get its head chopped off, and it's going to get its guts taken out, and it's going to get its fins removed. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do is cut right behind the gill plate, right on the top of the head here, straight down, and a little bit of an angle right behind the gill plate. When I begin my cut, I'm going to go slowly, but then once I reach the vertebrae, which is the bone, the backbone, I got to cut through that so you hear a cracking and a popping. Oh wow, that meat is really white. Okay, now that I'm through the vertebrae, okay, a lot of blood's coming out. Now the easy part is just to grab the spine here with my finger, and then grab the top of the head, and just peel. Making sure not to splash or flick my knife in some funky direction. Peeling will almost do the work for me. And did that air bladder that just popped? These fish live at really deep depths, well, at great depths. And because of that, when you reel them up, they don't have time to adjust. And their air sacs inflate, and they become sort of bloated. That's what happens. So the next step, once I get to this point, is coming all the way back here to the anal pore, which is where the fish poops from, lays eggs from, which is right here in front of the anal fin. I'm going to come right under the skin, right up into the gut cavity. Very careful not to cut myself. Very bad angle here. Now there's little bones right in front of these fins. The knife has to cut through them right there, so be careful. It helps if sometimes you put your finger behind the blade, like that. That way, your finger can lead the way without the knife point ever being exposed to poke you. Just kind of come right on up through. Voila! So now we're opening. Okay, we'll pull the rest of what's left of the guts out. This was a male. This was a boy fish. Like these big white things are his nuts. Fish have really long nuts, don't they? Look at these things. Fish nuts. So this was a boy fish. Male fish tend to be smaller than female fish, and especially a female fish that's full of eggs, obviously. Okay, this is the air sac coming out. This right now is just this gooey tissue. Ooh, spin my knife, baby. Most of the air sac is out. I'm going to remove this excess blood, which is coagulated, left over from before the fish died. So to do that, I'm going to take my knife. Just come in here and slice this thin membrane just a little bit. See how it's peeling? And then I'm going to scrape that blood out. There we go. See that black jelly in there? That's what we want to get out. Okay. Scrape it out. Okay, now that we are all done, all that blood is off of the vertebrae column. This put your air sac left over. Now it is time to wash the fish. And get rid of the head. So I'm going to wash the fish here. Starting on the inside, getting whatever blood and gooey stuff is left in there. Looks like a salmon. Now the outside. Mr. Fish is clean. Set him aside for a second. And we'll clean up his head. Cleaned up. The next thing we're going to do is remove the fins, right? Now the fins, yeah, they stick out, but they also go into the body. The ones down here, these are called the pectoral fins. You can see the bone sticking out right here. So this one is an easy one to remove. Doesn't require a heck of a lot of cutting. Although this one is kind of slippery. I'm going to use my other knife. Here's one. Over to this side. Here's the other one. my sharp knife. Should just pull off now. Yeah, there we go. Okay, pectoral fins are done. Now we are going to look at the dorsal fin. This one's a little tricky. Dorsal fin is the one that's right on the backbone. And in order to get this one out, I have to cut down both sides of the fin. The spines of this fin go down into the fish. So in order to get it out, you got to do a little preparing and you got to do a little digging. Back to this knife. Might have to use a different knife altogether to get this started. My knives are dull. They are dull. Getting a lot of use. I don't have my whetstone in California. Use this little serrated puppy to get this one started. Same on this side. Okay, now, see how I can kind of pinch this fin here? You can get down below it and actually get underneath with most of the vertebrae that are connected to that fin. And the whole thing will come out. And voila, here's your dorsal fin. Okay, the adipose fin, which is this one in the very back here, that one doesn't have any spines. It's all fat. That's actually a fat reserve for the fish. Trout are the only family of fish that have these things. So if you ever see an adipose fin, you know you're dealing with a trout. Adipose is a French word. It's spelled A-D-A-P-O-I-S. Anyway, this one just cuts off. Real easy. And that's that. Now, these two. This is the anal fin. My favorite. Same as the dorsal fin. This one has vertebrae that go up. So, this is a tough one to do, but I'm gonna try. There we go. Nice. Same on this side. Okay. And then with a pinch and some digging, this one comes out. Alright? So now we are a fin-free fish. I'm going to leave the tail fin on because that doesn't really affect any meat. Now, next thing that some folks would do would be to scale it. You know what? I think I'm going to try. Scaling it, I'm going to take this serrated knife, and the scales go horizontally down the fish. So holding the tail as best I can, actually. That's about as good as I'm going to be able to get, isn't it? I'll keep slipping right out. I'm going to take the knife and go against the scales. There are little tools for this, scalers, but I don't have one here. Actually, I don't think I have one anymore. I had one when I was a little kid. Anywhere where it's shiny, the skin, the fish's fish skin, there are still scales. Once it's kind of dull, the scales are gone. That just about does it. Okay, now I'm going to wash it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. How to clean a trout 101. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was the one. Trout cleaning 101. So you have been watching Micha Angela Productions episode of Micha in the Kitchen. Till next time.